Ciao armanti de libri. It's pissing with rain and I'm about to take a flight to Perth with my partner, and I wanted to see how much I could read on this trip, so I'm taking you with me. Hi, it's the next day. We're doing some stuff with Zuril's family, but on the plane from Melbourne to Perth, I read 100 pages of Calabasas. Crazy for me. I read like 20 pages a day. Granted, it wasn't a continuous 4-hour flight, and by the 3.5-hour mark, I was ready to go to sleep. Reviews I saw saying that Calabasas is like very, I'm telling you this, you're stupid. Dude, I was half asleep and I was like reading that shit. No impact. I just shouldn't trust people online. Why wouldn't the Dark Academia book have academia in it? Wouldn't that make sense? I'm so tired, but I thought I would give you an update. This is also my edition of Calabasas. I have not shown this on camera, but I'm on page 130 something. I'm on page 135. I didn't really read for a lot today, but I did read. I'm enjoying Calabasas. It's pretty well written. I just feel like I'm reading it when I'm tired, so I'm not reading it as frequently as I would like, because it is an academic book and I am half asleep. I read 20 pages when I was sitting at the table and I was like eating it up. Eating it so quick. And I read 15 pages just then and I want to go into the deepest slumber. So I think it really is quite dependent on how much energy I have left in my system, which right now isn't a lot. I'm also on a time zone that's 2 hours behind what I'm normally on. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying Calabasas, which is what you want at the end of the day when you're reading a book. Hi. It's like 9 p.m. and I don't know if you've noticed, someone is engaged. And by someone, I mean me. I'm engaged. I got engaged this morning. Lots of crying. A kid. A lot of crying, a kid. But yeah. I'm engaged to the love of my life. So I'm wrapped. Also, on a lesser exciting note, I started reading They All Had a Reason on my Kindle today, and I'm on chapter 4. This book is horribly written. I'm sorry to whoever wrote this book, but it is horrifically written. The character that dies, she's on the phone with someone called Big Goober. It's just written bad. But I thought I'd give you an update because I'm the happiest girl in the world right now.
So I brought my Kindle, so we'll see if I'll get any further on Quicksilver.
I started yesterday. They All Had a Reason, and it's horrific.
Sounds like
It is so badly written. So bad. I downloaded it before I got here. Basically, the queen bee of the school dies. She has a twin brother, and the girl that I'm following the perspective of finds her dead. Also, the girl who died locked her in their basement. She crawled out of a hole into the woods. The brother who's alive, his name is Bridger Silverfield, and they're from Smithfield.
so too many fields.
When I was reading it yesterday, I did my Goodreads update. I added a little note. Bridger Silverfield from Smithfield. For my next trick, I'll name someone Track Minefield. Here are some highlights I've highlighted. Okay, I'll call you later, Big Goober.
What time period is this set in?
Modern.
Modern. Okay.
Be gone.
You stay there. You're not allowed to leave, Steph.
Cool.
See you later.
Oh.
Bye, baby.
The rest of them now.
Yeah. Become a bird.
One of them now.
I'll miss you.
Go, buddy. Come on. Good boy.
Oh. Hello, it is the end of day 3 in Perth, and I finished. What the fuck was the name of it? I finished They All Had a Reason. It was horrific. It actually has to be one of the worst books I have ever read. It was written horrifically, there was no logic involved. Oh, actually, I can tell you some of my least favourite parts because I highlighted them. And then I got to a point where I couldn't highlight it anymore because I was so fucking sick and tired of it. Chapter 2. It says, okay, I'll call you later, Big Goober. What does the G in Big G stand for? It's Goober. I wonder, do I know any boys with the first name that starts with G? Not that I can think of. Or what about last names? I don't know, nobody comes to mind. Maybe G stands for his middle name. Or it stands for a nickname. Like Gangster. Also, there's a weird romance subplot that I just don't understand. One of them was laughing at a funeral. And the last one I have is, heaven help me if there's something gross on my face, like a crusty booger hanging out of my nose. Full stop. It just doesn't make sense, and also why would you write that? I don't know. I did start Smoke and Scar by... I don't know who by. And then it just starts off in a prologue about shit that I just don't understand. But that's what I've been reading while we've been going around, because we went to the aviary today and saw a bunch of birds, saw a shitload of birds, and then went to a bar, and now here I am. So I'm gonna go back to reading Calabasas because I feel like this is the only thing actually keeping me sane in terms of literary competence, because that book was, They All Had a Reason. I actually felt like I lost years of my life reading that, I'm not gonna lie. But it's also my first day of officially being a fiance, which is actually crazy. I've just been staring at my ring all day. I don't know if I've shown what it will look like, or I don't know if editing me in the future will put photos in there, but if you haven't seen it, that is my ring. Oh.
Huh.
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 trap.
Anyway, tomorrow we're gonna go see the Terracotta Warriors at the museum. Do you know how hyped I am for that? I'm so fucking hyped for Terracotta Warriors. I've had a drink, if you can't tell. Anyway. It is our last full day in Perth. Today we just went and had breakfast, a coffee with one of Zuriel's best friends, and he's just doing some stuff with his family, and then we're having a fancy dinner, so you will not see much of me. But an update, I am on page 228 of Calabasas, and I'm 10 pages into whatever I'm reading on my Kindle. I, honest to God, cannot remember what the fuck I'm reading. I plan to finish Calabasas before I hit Melbourne. On average, in the 4 hours on the plane, I can read 100 pages. I think Calabasas is a 600-page book, so our flight tomorrow is at 4:40 in the afternoon, but we're getting to the airport at like 2. So I feel like I can get in a good chunk before I get on the plane, and then a good chunk in the air. So I'll either finish it or I'll be just before finishing it. And then, you know, if I've read 2 books in a week, that feels like a good reading week for me. Because as we are aware, I read about 20 pages in a week on average. Because I read slow and I don't overconsume fucking literature. And I don't skim read, and I don't only read dialogue, because that's fucking weird to do. Anyway. But yeah, I bought my Kindle, so I'm gonna sit in the car while Zuriel does his thing that he needs to do. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm on page 24. It got real sexual assaulty real fucking quick. There's like... They have signets, if you will. That's what I'm calling them. They fucking have powers because there's Faye. They pin her to the table. Like, show us your wings. And she's like, I'm not going to reveal the most sensitive part of my body to these fucking men. The one in charge is a fire burner. I don't know what the fuck. He's like trailing. He's like touching like the inseam of her pants between her legs. And he's like burning her clothes off slowly, while men are pinning her to a table. And she's going, she could take it. She'd survive worse. Why? I'm 5% into the book. What? Why? I just don't understand why we're doing this. It's actually made my stomach curdle. Okay, so the dwarf has put a fucking plant on the table. I guess she's an earthbender. She's growing vines from the plant. She's called a wild shaper. Why can't we just call her an earthbender? I guess that's copyrighted. You bit, yelled another. Bitch is too much. But the foreshadowing of sexual assault's just right. What the fuck? Oh! Slut-shaming! Fuck! By the female officer only. Jesus Christ. Back home now. I'm 68 or 66% of the way through Calabasas. But that ends our weekly vlog because I'm home. So I read 1 3/4 of a book in a week. Good for me, bad for literally anyone else. But thank you so much for joining me. I guess thank you for also watching me get engaged, I suppose. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, arrivederci.